happy birthday to him. And he recently released a new album that you can check out online at lsdivinity.bandcamp.com. And also his other main website is tarekbibi.com. That's Bibi. And yeah, we're going to bring him on. And I know like he's going to fit in nicely with this conversation because his music is absolutely all about inspiration. But not only that, it has some very insightful spiritual themes, some very shifty themes weaved through it. So with that said, Tarek, we're going to bring you onto the air, and Katie and Troy, we're going to keep you guys in on the conversation. So we're just going to expand the circle here a little bit more. So Tarek, if you're ready, bringing you back on to Paradigm Shift Radio. Here we go. Hello, Tarek.
Thank you, Brendan, so much for having me on the show. You guys are having an awesome conversation, and I love all the work that you're doing. So honored and humbled.
Right on, man. No, it's good. It's good to have you on. And of course, like I said,
thanks, Troy.
Yeah, hello. And of course, like I said, man, happy birthday to you. I like the fact that on your birthday, you are the one who is sharing the gifts with other people. You know, like I like that theme. Something I agree with, definitely. So, but yeah. But yes, Tarek, please, I mean, wherever you feel, again, you know, just reminding people that this isn't me necessarily interviewing. This is us co-hosting, co-creating this episode. So you heard a bit of the conversation once you jump in, but we got that song off your new album that we can play and we can set that up. But anything that you just want to mention off the top in terms of consciousness and hip-hop and how it's helping change the world we live in.
Yeah, man, it's just so inspiring. Like I remember once I went to New York and just passed by, like, and I'm like, really, that's the ghettos where like all this stuff that changed millions of people's lives came from, and you know, hip hop music became this universal thing, like you guys were saying earlier. It didn't matter what culture, and it united people all over the world in a way that nothing else has. Like these kids from this kind of neighborhood did that. And it shows you how, like, you know, spirit or the universe or, you know, that divinity within us can come out of nothing like a diamond out of charcoal and like do miraculous things. So what a cool platform to be a part of, and I'm excited to hear your poetry, by the way, Brendan, and your raps together when you put that together. But and just man, like music was always there for me. Like no one understood me. I was that quiet kid. Parents didn't understand me. They thought it was weird. So music was there all along. Like Bob Marley's songs would reach my heart. John Lennon's music reaches our hearts. Like these are the guys, are the forefathers, the guys that came before us. Like, you know, Nirvana came at a time and just got all the teenagers to be able to express all the crap they were feeling. So music was there for us, and it's so nice to be a part of that and to use it in the way that it was first initially inspired by spirits to be used, to share wisdom, to share inspiration. It was poetry at the beginning. It was like all sorts of things. And hip-hop did include like that ego of like, I'm better than you, and that was a part of it. But now it's like, really, that's all it is? Because it used to be a lot more, and that's fine, because it's almost like it's reminding us of how powerful music is and how powerful words are, and the fact that it's been taken over completely and just bastardized and used for, you know, wicked reasons goes to show how powerful it is. So if people are still listening to that, I mean, they're not even. I would love to reach them, but they're not even in the audience that I'm catering to. So we're catering to the people that are, you know, somewhat awakened or awakening or have already been awakened, and you know, get them to shine their light even more through music, through words, through consciousness. I look at it as almost like we're all leaders. People are stepping up as leaders, and it's like, hey, those are our people, and if we're not leading them, if no one's stepping up in hip hop and saying this is what it needs to be said, you know, some people are just going to flock to what's cool, flock to what's on the radio. So people like yourself, Brendan, who like step up and you're like, hey, I heard, you know, a radio show and it was pretty shitty. I'm going to create my own radio show that's going to be positive and empowering and change up the whole format and make it for the people, by the people, etc. That's what we're doing with music. So inspiring times. Yeah. Good times. Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Troy, Katie, if you guys want to jump in, by all means.
I have some lyrics to share.
All right.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Okay, this is from Immortal Technique, the song called The Martyr. And Immortal Technique was really, he really changed my way of thinking. And this is the main song that really changed me. And the lyrics are, so now that it's proven that a soldier of a revolution or a head of an empire disguised in a constitution cannot escape the retribution or manipulation of the self-appointed rulers of the planet's corporation. So I'm going to need every generation to put your hands up because you can only get them off your back when you stand up.
Yeah.
Now, that really got me thinking and questioning, and it made me realize that we have the power, every generation, now, today, to realize what's going on, use this music of conscious rap and hip-hop and for the good of society and help change our way of thinking, the collective consciousness, and how we use music and share music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And well, I just got, with Tarek, sort of take us back a little bit in where your original inspiration sort of came from. I know you sort of touched upon that, but just give us a little bit of background. Like, how long have you been working on mastering your craft, so to speak, and how has it evolved over these years?
Thanks, brother, for the question. And those, I love that song. I love the whole album, The Martyr. You guys could just, anyone listening, you could just check it out on the radio. So on YouTube, the whole album's there, very powerful. So for me, it was grade 10, man. Like, I grew up with like Metallica and hip hop and heavy metal were like the things that I would go to. And I remember just feeling like there was all this bottled up emotions and things that I needed to say, but like no one would, even get me, or couldn't really connect with anyone that would just receive what I needed to share. So I just kept it all to myself. But then I met a friend who was into hip hop, and he encouraged me to start writing stuff. So it started off kind of like silly and corny, but then very soon it became very therapeutic for me to express, and it almost became like this, like artists, we just channel the stuff. We're not really thinking so much as channeling the information from wherever that source comes from, and it became like a message with a meaning, with that would be therapy for me, which would be helpful for the listener. Starting grade 10, very unstructured because I was very right brain. School was a nightmare because I couldn't follow the structure or get the left brain stuff. But it's important. We need to balance both. So I started slowly with poetry, because poetry completely has no structure, at least the way I did it. It was so free, I could do whatever, but express deeper emotions. And then, when you get a beat, it's like, okay, now I have to break it down into this and this and this. So it just kept evolving, since grade 10, writing stuff, and then since 99, starting to, I wasn't even trying, like, everything was kind of set up. A friend of ours took us to the studio, recorded songs with us, and so it's almost like the universe is setting things up for me to do this, and I've been resisting it, actually, Brendan, for like 10 years now, and only on my birthday did I officially surrender to that nagging spirit of mine that is like, this is healing, this is your higher calling. And on my birthday, March 24th, I launched my new album. I launched my actual career, and not just as a conscious rap artist, but we're taking it next level, Brendan. I'm calling myself a consciousness artist, meaning we're raising consciousness through the music. There's healing frequencies encoded and all sorts of amazing stuff.
Yeah. Like that's where